My brothers and sisters, you are now watching The Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
Sat, my brothers and sisters. Anyways, what a brother is here today to discuss is why a brother believes that video games are starting to become more and more casual day by day. When you think about in the past, all the games that were hardcore type games in the past, if they're still being made today, you have to admit most, if not all of them, are more casual. It's more casual to play, more easier to get into. Just to name a few games. Killzone 3 was more casual than Killzone 2. Killzone 2, when you bought that game, that game was one of the toughest games to play. Some people said, "Oh my god, the controls were terrible." That wasn't the reason. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was just. Let's move on from Killzone was a great game, but Killzone 3 when it came out, it was more casual than 2. It was more easier to play because they almost made it like a game I'm about to get to. Gears 3. Gears of War 3, make no mistake about it, I just did a gameplay commentary like a day ago about this game. It's still a tough game to play. There is no way you can buy Gears 3 and expect to just go 16-0, just get a flawless. Gears has never been that type of game, but coming from Gears 1 and Gears 2, Gears 3 is more casual than Gears 2 and 1. Let's go to Call of Duty, the game I was getting to. Now, Call of Duty, whether you love this game or hate this game, I don't know how many times I have to say this. Whether you love this game or hate this game, this year was an accomplishment for me because this was my first year that I went without buying a Call of Duty game. I have not played Modern Warfare 3 till this very day, and I'm proud of myself because it's tough for most gamers to do that, to skip out on a Call of Duty. But whether you love this game or hate this game, it is the most popular first-person shooter today. It's the most popular, and it's because it's more casual. When you look at a game that was online like Call of Duty 3, and now you look at Modern Warfare 3, look at how more casual it is. The more kill streaks, everything. Call of Duty, Halo Reach, way more casual than Halo 3 and 2 was. You now can fly with jetpacks. You now got armor locks, all this type of stuff. Look at SOCOM. A game that got to the point where it... Hold on. Because I don't talk about this much, how I truly feel about SOCOM. But god dang, but you guys know that our brother is a SOCOM fan. I had SOCOM 2. I did not buy this game when it first came out because, as you can see, I got the greatest hits edition. But SOCOM 2, and I used to have 1, 2, and I used to have all of the SOCOMs, but over time I got rid of a few. But I kept SOCOM 2 because it was the best in my opinion. SOCOM Combined Assault also, this game wasn't a bad game. It's just they introduced, the vehicles and the huge maps and stuff. But those two SOCOMs right there. The last SOCOM game they made was I don't have the game anymore, but I think I still got the box around somewhere, but I can't find it. But the last SOCOM game they made was SOCOM 4. And I remember one of the dudes who worked for Zipper, I think his name is Seth Luisi. He said that for this game, they was going to try to reach the broader audience, aka casual gamers. Period. He was trying to reach the casual people out there because SOCOM Confrontation didn't do so well and stuff like that. Anyways, to get to the point, SOCOM is now dead. Zipper is no longer. They're done. Sony has shut Zipper down. There's no more Zipper Interactive. The developers for SOCOM, and I think it's because SOCOM 4 got so casual and got so far away from what 1 and 2 was that it is now dead, okay? That's just some examples for games that are becoming more and more casual day by day. I mean, even Uncharted 3. a lot of people hate Uncharted 3 Online. I will say it's not as good as Uncharted 2 Online was. When you look at how Uncharted 2 Online was, it was a way tougher game to get good at than 3 was. You know, 3 it's a lot more easier now because, you know, you got guns like the Gmail and the FAL, and, you know, the M9 with rapid fire. You know, you now have perks, if you will, even kill streaks, if you will, in Uncharted 3. So when you really look at it, those are just a few examples. Games are becoming more and more casual day by day, and really, here's my theory, you know, it's half the developers' fault for these games becoming more and more casual, and it's half our fault, you know, the hardcore gamers. You know, we hardcore gamers, I don't think we really support games the way casual gamers do. You know, this isn't to be exact, but I would say for most of the Call of Duty crowd, of course you still have some hardcore gamers that do play Call of Duty, but I think it's pretty safe to say that the majority of people where Call of Duty gets most of its sales is from casual gamers, you know. And I have to say that hardcore gamers don't support games the way casual gamers do. You know, really, when you look at a game like Halo or Gears or Battlefield, you know, I'd say for those type of games, it's mostly hardcore gamers, you know. But the thing is, those games have never sold the same way Call of Duty does, and it's because Call of Duty is probably one of the most casual first-person shooter games I've ever seen. I've ever seen in my life, and that's not an insult. That's just what I believe. You know, it's because Call of Duty is so casual that it is so successful. And when developers see that hardcore gamers are not supporting their title the same way casual gamers are doing, and they look at a game like Call of Duty and they see it selling so well, they start to get more casual because they want that same success, but they're not getting it with the hardcore gamers because we don't support our games the way casual gamers do. And now we have games becoming more and more casual day by day. Am I preaching today in this smart? Anyways, I don't want to curse. Anyways, but the point is, games are becoming more and more casual day by day. And I forgot what vid it was, but I think I made a vid like a week ago, and I was talking about there was a time in history where video games were almost about to die. You know, someone left oh my God, someone left a comment about it. Someone left a comment about it, and they was like, yeah, gamer, I think I know what you're talking about. It was called the video game crash of 1983, and it was a time where video games were hot to one point, and then it just completely dropped. No one was playing games, and it's because, you know, the games were, it was a constant stream of terrible games. They were overpriced, and there were terrible sequels, and that's why games died. And, you know, if you look at, there are some signs in today's gaming that had the exact same symptoms in the video game crash of 1983. There are terrible sequels these days for games. Just to name a few: Final Fantasy, Tekken, freaking Call of Duty. I mean, that's just to name a few. There are some terrible sequels for games. Games these days are way overpriced. $65 for a game. I cannot wait for the next generation of games to come, and I want to see the prices for those games. I want to see the prices for those games. So we have overpriced games and some terrible sequels. I'm not saying all sequels they make today are terrible, but some are. Then you have a constant stream of terrible games. The only difference is a game these days can release terrible, but they can add more stuff into it, the ever so beloved DLC. Back in those days, they didn't have DLC, so it was a bigger issue back then. But some of the signs that were in the crash of 1983, there are some signs in this exact same gen. And I truly believe if games become so casual, I mean, we have things like PlayStation Move, for Christ's sake. I was about to buy a PlayStation Move, but then I heard how terrible it was for most games. The only game I heard that PlayStation Move works well with is I don't particularly know, but I don't know. They got stuff like the PlayStation Move, Connect. You think those are directed towards hardcore gamers? What hardcore gamer you know is going to want to play for freaking like this or like this. No hardcore gamer wants to do that. That's why I never see the controller dying, you know. But when you look around at how video games are today, they are becoming more and more casual day by day. And like I said, back to my point, it's because casual gamers support games more than hardcore gamers do. You know, we call ourselves hardcore gamers, but we don't support games the same way I think casual gamers do. And it shows in games like Call of Duty, you know. I guess this is a rant, but this is just to put, you know, us hardcore gamers on notice. You know, we always complain about why is this game becoming more and more casual. Like I said, I think it's half our fault, half of the develop. Oh my God! Half of the developer's fault. Sometimes I just talk too fast and I just get caught up. But you know, we really need to, us hardcore gamers. We really need to step up. You know, if we really want to ever end this Call of Duty era, and I'm not saying Call of Duty has to end. Well, basically I am saying that, but I'm not saying Call of Duty is a bad game, but it's definitely promoting a bad way of how games are supposed to be made these days. Because if Call of Duty continues to sell, we're going to see games become so casual that they might even end up like SOCOM. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave comments or a video response, whatever you want to do. Us hardcore gamers, it's time for us to step up. You know, I love video games. This is something I have a passion for. You know, it's just, this video is really just to put us on notice. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, I greatly appreciate if you rate the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up. It could be a thumbs down. But I do ask every brother, and you best believe every sister. It's to just rate that. Oh, it's the, you know, it doesn't have to be a thumbs up. I almost forgot my saying. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up. It could be a thumbs down. But what I do ask every brother and every sister. So saying that, hardcore gamers step up. Casual gamers, you winning right now. Period.